Hello, sir.
What's up, man?
What's happening?
I'm good, and you?
Good, fantastic. How's things? Oh, you got a self haircut there, or you sneaking in a barber? What's
No,
going
no, no, no.
on?
I got somebody that does it from the house, and I got that done. So that was great. I mean, I had a haircut for what? 7 weeks. It was terrible.
I just went with the old Joe Rogan. Just hit it all off.
No, well, I mean, I was really considering that, but it was a little bit late when I decided to do that, and I was like, well, now I'm not gonna do it right now because I'm not gonna be stuck at home for another 7 weeks.
And otherwise, how's the long 7 week lockdown been treating you, man?
Man, I mean, it's been there's been some challenges, but nothing too hectic. I mean, like I said, we have the team, a whole lot of the teammates staying here. We have my brother's here, so I mean, we're like 4 or 5 guys that's training every day, and we have 2, 3 sessions a day. So I mean, we brought some of the mats in the gym, a pretty big garage. So we had a few mats from the gym, all the weights, the kettlebells, the air bikes, all that we need. So everything we need here. So we've been at it 100%. Not really having that much of an effect on our training schedules. So I
Nice,
mean, it's been
very nice. Yeah, so you're one of the very fortunates to have a nice setup there. And
yeah.
keep this
Yeah,
ball
as soon as
going.
I heard about it, I just said, no, listen, I have to make a plan right now. I can't be not getting proper training for 7 weeks.
100%. And enjoying the fights. It's nice to have something to watch on the TV again, man.
Yeah, I mean, I've been waking up for all of them. Like, there's no way I'm missing that. It's so crazy to be able to see live sports. It feels like Christmas every time.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. And the fights have been crazy, crazy.
Yeah.
So it's been a real treat. What do you think about that fighting with no crowd? How do you see that
Oh
working out?
man, I mean, it's great to watch it, but I wouldn't be the biggest fan of actually competing in a fight without a crowd. To be honest,
Yeah,
like I mean, if that's what you have to do, sure, but it's not ideal. I think it would be a very good situation, especially mentally, all that stuff. You have to do it like that. It must be even the beginning of a round. They're not even using it.
yeah. It's
Yeah,
it's strange. And one of like the craziest things I've been noticing lately. So like with the Anthony Smith fight, and I know DC was talking about it. He's like, because his corner is so much like constantly throwing instructions, his volume is just like continuous. And then he
yeah. No,
actually got
actually, that
tired.
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, which is quite crazy. Like there's obviously some sort of adjustments that the guys are going to have to figure out here during this no fan scenario.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, we can hear everything everybody's saying, so
Yeah,
it's
it's
interesting.
I think Greg Hardy was talking about that. He was like he actually heard DC saying he's got to start checking those leg kicks, and then he started checking the leg kicks. So the
And he
commentators are
started checking the thing.
and the commentators are having to like
Yeah, well, I mean,
whisper
if
now.
he's giving that advice, then you might as well listen,
Yeah,
right?
100%, 100%. So yeah, it's been super interesting, man. But I'm just glad we got fights on. Anyways, dude, one of the biggest reasons why we wanted to chat to you is you're obviously in a bit of a strange scenario at the moment. I stumbled upon an interview you did, I think, with some Polish MMA media house, basically outlaying a bit of a scenario between yourself and KSW at the moment. And it's, I mean, you know firsthand how people are constantly enough of the EFC, time to move on to the UFC and so on. And it seems that this has been happening. So why don't you just give us an update of this scenario? From what I understand is that there's been some significant offers on the table for you from massive promotions all over the world, and you're kind of stuck in a position where KSW aren't letting you go.
Yeah, I mean, so basically what happened is when I went to the States in Jan, and I was there for a month. So it was about February. We got a call from PFL saying, listen, they want me to fight in the next season of PFL, and they made me a massive offer. It was really a crazy. It was great, and that was basically the route that I was going to take for PFL. And then obviously the UFC came on board, and we started talking with them, and then there were some decisions to be made. And as soon as that happened, I immediately, like, it wasn't something that I withheld from them or anything. Um, it was just I immediately approached him and said, listen, this is the scenario. So my contract's not exclusive with KSW. I can fight wherever, just outside of Poland. I'm not allowed to fight in Poland. And they were just like, no, sorry, we're not letting you go. And I was like, okay, cool. I understand my contract's up until end of October. So basically what's happening is they want me to either fight, and they didn't want to give me a title shot immediately. And I said, well, I mean, you guys don't want to give me a title shot. And then they were like, no, we want to give you a title shot. And I was like, well, I don't need the title shot anymore. I want to go fight in the UFC. And I was like, well, I'm pretty stuck. I'm stuck in their contract because it isn't exclusive. But I mean, if they're not, I need to be released for the UFC to give me a contract.
Yeah.
So I think that was where the first problem came in. And we spoke with him, and I told him, listen, I know David Zavada, he got his release from his contract just a little bit less than a year ago. He was in the exact same situation from UFD Gym. And then Abu Magmedov, he got released from his contract also for PFL. So, I mean, they do make the exceptions, and they were just like, no, they're not making the exception for me. And basically what it came down to was one of the owners went on an interview, and he basically said, no, they don't want me to fight. They don't know if there's place for me in the KSW middleweight division anymore because of health reasons, which I was like, well, that makes no sense. I have no health reasons, but never had health reasons. And then they went back on that and said there was something about a visa issue, and there's never been a visa issue. And then basically it came down to, they were like, they're struggling to promote me as a fighter. And listen, I explained this pretty easily. If I have 16 fights, 14 wins, 14 finishes, 3 belts, 9 out of my 14 fights, 16 fights, I've had 11 performance bonuses, which basically means, I mean, if you can't promote that, then somebody's not doing their job, and it's not me.
Yeah, which doesn't really make sense because, I mean, you've got a significant Polish following as it is since you joined KSW. I mean, to the point where you've actually had to start translating your social media posts so those fans can see.
That's BS. That's basically just a way for them to win this battle, I think. And it all feels pretty unnecessary, to be honest. Like, I've had a great relationship with KSW, with the owners, with the matchmakers, everybody. Like, it's been great. Everybody is like, we're in a great relationship. They were just immediately sour that I even just asked for the opportunity. I think they felt like a betrayal, but it's not what it is. It's not betrayal. It's not that I think the UFC is better. In fact, I'm going to take a pay cut fighting for the UFC at this stage from KSW.
Yeah.
So it's not about the money. They treated me great. It was never about anything like that. It was just, I mean, it's the next step of my career, and that's where I'm heading. That's where I want to be. I want to be the UFC champion. That's where my goal's always been at, and I feel right now it's time. I feel I've matured as a middleweight. I'm fitting in the middleweight division great. I'm feeling amazing, and right now is the time to start climbing that ladder all the way to the top of the UFC. And so yeah, basically right now it's a custody battle. So I mean, what I also did say is, the last statement they made was that they're struggling to promote me. And then I was like, well, if you're struggling to promote me, just release me then.
Yeah. Yeah, which makes the most sense. The most sense. Yeah, it's such a strange. Because Dricus, I just want to point out a couple of things here. So your contract with KSW is actually ending in October. Given the situation with the coronavirus and that, you know, they don't have any fights.
There's no fights going to happen before that.
Exactly. On top of that, they've kind of come out and said that they can't promote you, and they're not actually really willing to promote you any further in the organization. You know, and they've made up stories about health issues and all sorts of stuff, but they still won't release you. So you have to kind of wonder, like, what's the deal here? What is the point of all of this then? You know, what are they trying to achieve? Do you think it's just kind of like a victimization, that they just feel like we're just going to do this just to kind of piss you off? Or what's the scenario?
Yeah, well, I mean, what I'm seeing this is, I think they might have taken some offense that I want to leave them and go to the UFC. But remember, UFC is regulated. KSW isn't regulated. I mean, I'm the champion in the EFC, so I'm regulated. I'm getting tested all the time, random tests. I'm tested after every fight. They don't have a commission that does that. So I mean, it was great fighting there, and it's awesome promotion to fight for. And also, what I'm saying is, I'm representing them as a former champion in KSW. When I fight in the UFC, the better I do, the better they look. So I think I honestly think that this whole thing is that they are wondering, why do I want to leave them for UFC, and it's nothing personal. It's literally just the fact that the UFC is to be the biggest organization in the world. That's where I want to be the world champion at, and that's the next step in my career. So I think it's a bit of sour grapes because of that, and that's why all this unnecessary false rumors and unnecessary false statements are being made. And I've been playing it straight with them from the beginning. I haven't lied to them. I haven't tried to wiggle some sort of deal without them knowing. I've been playing open cards with them from the beginning. So, I mean, right now, like you say, with this whole coronavirus, it really doesn't make any sense to keep me there. It's basically just putting brakes on my career for up until the end of this contract. And it makes no sense because they're not gaining from it. Now I have to sit and with multiple media sources and say something bad about KSW because I don't want to. Because, like I said, they've always been great to me and we've had a great relationship. I don't want to badmouth them. I don't want to badmouth any organization involved in the sport that I love. So, I mean, now we're being forced to do that, and because that's exactly what they're doing. I have to defend my honor here, and I really just think this whole scenario is unnecessary.
Yeah, completely unnecessary. So I was just kind of thinking about it to maybe to explain to people, saying, but yeah, you know, it's October, so don't stress. You know, it's not that far. The reality of the situation is you were in America in January. You could have picked up a deal and probably squeezed in a fight before then. So that's one fight you're down already. On top of that, you know, you could have been like half in a camp, getting on standby to say, okay, the second this travel ban is lifted from coronavirus, I'm out of here and I'm going to the UFC or whatever. So yes, October is not that far away, but you've lost almost an entire year already by the time October comes, because in October they're going to say, okay, look, cool, Dricus, we've got a fight for you in December, maybe, you know what I mean? And then it's all going to start. So they've really put you in the screwer here, because it's, I mean, if you had done the deal and signed the contracts with whoever, you could have maybe squeezed in a fight and maybe got in another fight at the end of the year. So it's I know October is not that far, but I think everyone needs to understand that there's a lot of opportunity missed here just by this sour grape scenario.
Exactly, like you're saying there, like I've lost a whole year. Yeah, the whole coronavirus thing, I haven't lost too much because of that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I could have had another fight, and the big problem with that is I'm healthy, I'm fit, I'm good. Like I couldn't fight in April for KSW. They wanted me in March. I think they wanted me to fight in March, and I had a little hand injury, nothing serious, and that fight wasn't a possibility because I could only start my camp mid-Feb, so I couldn't fight 4 weeks after that, after having a little hand injury after the fight in December. So I mean, I'm fit, I'm healthy, I'm not injured, I'm feeling great, and I want to start building as soon as possible. And like you say, like it's just this whole scenario is just keeping me back for no specific reason at all. Yeah. And I mean, if I already signed another contract somewhere, as soon as this thing is over or the travel ban is lifted, I could immediately go and fight. But right now there's going to be first signing a contract and all that stuff. It's going to take time, and it's going to be a month or two before I get on a card. So, I mean, it's basically just, I mean, it just takes off a year of my career, and that's not something I want to be doing right now.
Yeah, man, it's really tough, and we're really sorry about that. And another point on there, I think what people often don't realize is if you get a fight in the States, you know, the visa and the travel and all of that takes time, you know what I mean? So it
takes time.
Yeah, it's really like up against it, man.
And I mean, to get that visa, you need that contract, unfortunately.
Yeah, exactly. So I just wanted to hit home the point that people be like, October is not far away, you'll be fine. The reality is that it's very far away in those terms, you know what I mean? So
sorry about
no worries. I think it's quite important. Well, dude, yeah, I don't know. Hopefully KSW just man up and do the right thing, because it's kind of like, it's a very childish scenario. They're just like, well, we don't want you, but we're not going to let you go. You're going to sit here, and we're gonna mess with you until we're happy to let you go when your contract expires, which is
like you say, it's a childish scenario to be in. I mean, they're businessmen. I'm a businessman. It's never personal. It never had to be personal. It was only a business decision. It's only me doing what I want to do, and I mean, for them, it's a purely business decision. I mean, to have to say, if I become a UFC champion, I'm from KSW. I'm a KSW former champion there. I mean, that's a feather in their cap. I don't know why we're sitting with this situation, but I mean, right now it is what it is. October is where it is around the corner. So if they decide not to, that's the path forward. Hopefully, if something happens before that, I mean, a fight in the UFC, just to get a fight in. I want to fight. I want to sit on the sidelines. I want to get a fight in. So if that's a possibility, if it's not too close to a contract, a signed fight somewhere else, I would definitely want to do something like that.
Okay. What is the current status with the UFC? So from what I understand, what you were saying now, there was talks of a contract on the table, but obviously you couldn't sign that deal. Have they kind of said to you, okay, go figure it out with KSW and come back to us, or is it kind of like on ice now and you'll have to restart that conversation with them?
Yeah, well, I mean, basically the beginning of when we got the offer, they were like, okay, cool, sort your stuff out with KSW, and then like your offer is here, and then it came down to, with this whole Corona thing, I mean, they're not signing any internationals right now. Yeah. They're not really signing any new fighters right now. So, I mean, in some way, it's in my favor because it's not like it's opportunity lost. It's just on ice. So, I mean, that's the situation right now. There's nothing really happening other than waiting for this virus firstly, and then October.
Okay. Yeah, man, it's so depressing because it's even more frustrating for me because I know you and we've sat down many times before, and I know you're the ultimate company guy. You're always backing that corner and you're always promoting. I mean, you were still doing everything you could for the EFC even when you weren't really competing in the EFC. That's just kind of who you are. And I know you've been the same with KSW. I mean, KSW signed a market they never had in South Africa through you. Yeah. You picked up a mass amount of Polish support. So I don't even know where they're coming up with this. And then to still be treated like that is quite disappointing, to be honest, especially like for a young MMA nation like South Africa, because now no one's really going to want to go there from here. I mean, not to say that they want to come sign 1,000 people here. It just leaves a bad taste in your mouth,
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, this whole thing is unnecessary. It's like you said, I'm a company man. I like to take pride in the company I work for. I see myself as an employee of the UFC. I see myself as an employee of KSW. And the better they look, the better I look. It's a two-way street. It's they are promoting me. They are doing good for my career, just like I want to do good for them and see the sport grow and see the brand that I represent grow. And that's what it's all about. I mean, I'm not at war with the people that signed me. I'm not at war. They're not my enemies. They gave me the opportunity, so I want to promote them as far as I can, wherever I can.
Yeah, jeez. Just to really hit home, Dricus, I've heard a story about the PFL deal, that it was, some would say, probably career-changing money that you've had to turn down, compliments of KSW. Obviously, we don't want to hear figures. I just want to know how true that statement is.
Yeah, that's pretty true. Like, it was life-changing, to be honest.
Unreal, man.
It was
unreal, man.
It was massive. But I mean, that's the thing. If it happened once, I mean, we can make it happen again. It's a small setback. It's not the end of the road. It's nothing. It's just a little bump in the road. And like so many other times, adversity just comes and it makes you better, it makes you stronger, it makes you smarter. And I mean, we'll get there again. We'll be there in no time.
100%, man. I'm sorry you're having to deal with this cuck. I mean, it's as hard as it is for South Africans to get across over the pond, man. To sit and see a big organization like KSW playing dirty tactics is not great, man. And hopefully, hopefully you were saying you're going to be with other media outlets. Hopefully we can kind of get this ball going. Hopefully South Africans, you guys that are watching, tag KSW. Please don't swear at them and say silly things. Let's just hit home the point that let's hashtag free Dricus from KSW, so we can get this ball moving. I think that's
awesome. Thank you, guys.
That's the fastest thing, man. Thank you for your time, brother. We wish you all the best. I'm sorry you're going through this stuff, and hopefully it can all be sorted out soon.
Thank you for having me and listening, guys. I really appreciate it.
Always a pleasure. Thank you, bro. We'll catch you on the other side.
Cheers, guys.
Ciao.
See you. Cheers.